Hello and welcome to Endcast for preseason week number 4. I am your host, Orange, and with me yet again is Gummeljack and Burnerator.
Hello.
Hi everybody.
Hello again.
How's it going?
Week 4, preseason.
Yeah. So I guess, the first thing we got to talk about is last week. So, preseason week 3 was quite a strange week, to say the least. A lot of very weird things happened in it, and in a lot of ways, I'm not very sure how to feel. So, right off the bat, we're gonna get into Team Minato at Team Guy and how this match went. So, what do you guys think about this? What?
Naruto and Guy was interesting.
Guy won, by the way.
Yeah, Guy won mostly because of exactly how we called it. It was the range fight, and the Lee Guy combo with the ultimates were pretty great.
It's a very strong team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Minato very obviously struggled against that. Although I will say Tenten was very melee aggressive too.
Interesting match though, like I said. It was because I think we were talking about the Lee and Guy matchup was very solid to begin with, and that could actually set the pace. But then going into the final lineup with Tenten, and that kind of ended up being what kind of sealed it. It came down to around 3, and it wasn't very close of a round 3, was it?
No, not really. Not that I can remember.
Not that I'm aware of. I think they might have gotten down to a bar, but I remember 10-10 just being able to chip them down.
Yeah, it wasn't the closest, unfortunately. But
I think Darky might know more about the match. Hint, hint.
Yeah, no, it was.
Let me see. I'm just kind of looking at it right now here. About a week. I'm trying to refresh my memory on it. For Minato, they had some pretty one of their first lineups they had.
They used one of their strongest lineups.
Not gonna, sell them short.
Yeah, they did do decently well. They just got kind of overwhelmed, I guess, over time.
So I think the first one was like Yamato Kakashi. Yamato actually is not doing bad. I'm really impressed with
if I
him.
remember correctly, Kakashi was on his normal outfit.
Yes, yeah, he was.
That's true. I think that's the first week he's actually been on that outfit. He's usually been Anbu, right?
Yeah, I think he was in that outfit like preseason week 1 or something like that, and then he was on the Anbu one until this week. Now, I think Minato did pretty okay. They just got hit by a couple too many ultimates, and obviously Tenten was kind of a counter to them, just in general. I felt like overall they didn't do terribly. They just kind of got overpowered, I guess. Which should speak to how good Guy is. It's a good lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall it wasn't a bad first match to start the week off. It was actually, despite what we're saying about it, it was actually one of our closer ones from this week, just because of how bizarre this week actually has been.
Yeah.
So with that, we can jump into our next one, which was Team Asuma at Team Kakashi. And Kakashi won this one.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, it was quite handily. They got swept, I believe, by Kakashi's Team 7 lineup.
Yeah.
And
Team 7, like I was telling you, with Chromalink, Sakura, and Mifune.
Yeah.
Team 7.
Yeah, totally Team 7. But yeah, no, Team Asuma is just like, I don't know. It seems like they've actually had kind of a struggling preseason so far. Like, they won their preseason week 1 match, but they got beaten by Cloud pretty well in preseason week 2. It wasn't as bad as this one, but it was still pretty bad, and this one I believe was just a straight up sweep. So
not looking at it, actually, it looks like it went to around 3.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't think it was actually close though, was it? I don't remember it being close at a round 3.
I mean, the round 3, the second lineup of Asuma took down Kakushi's last lamp to at least 1 handicap is worth of damage. So, I mean, it's a little bit closer than I remember.
Guess about as close as Minato guy.
Yeah, but again, the last team that, just similar to the week before, where the double Choji team got shreked by Cloud. Similar here, you had Ino double Choji, and ended up losing to Kakashi and Chromalik Naruto.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I guess to me, my impression is that it felt like Kakashi kind of had more control throughout this entire match.
Yeah, I'd say they had more momentum going, I think. And, and again, I'm not really sure if that is in due part to that double Choji lineup of sorts. Possibly that just kind of is a little more of a slower burn kind of lineup. It's hard to say, but both weeks that they've lost, they've used that combination. So
yeah,
they might just work better separately than together, possibly.
Yeah, it could be a possibility. I know that they've both been doing fairly well, so it could just be that team just not really working out for him.
I mean, I'm sure he tested a lot, got a lot of testing done in tests for that.
Oh,
so.
yeah, I'm sure. Although, the majority of the testing was that damn, Shikacho team.
Yeah.
But,
knowing that that's a strong team already, I mean, it's
he has data.
Yeah.
Like, he's just testing stuff, and some of his stuff's not working. So, I mean, that's fair. That's gonna happen to any team, really. But something bizarre that happened to a team in the next match, Sound at Hidden Sand. This is very, very strange. This is a strange match. This is one of a couple strange matches, and I don't know. Sound won this. No
awakenings. They had no awakenings enabled till Yuya was benched, so Sound won without any awakening assistance.
Yeah.
Pretty soundly, too.
pretty soundly. But, I think this didn't go to a round 3, I don't think.
I don't think it did. I think it was just basically Orochimaru and Sasuke.
Sasuke, yeah, not Yuya. Yuya was out.
And I don't know what happened to Gaara, but because I think this is the first time they've used this hat. Usually it's been suit Gaara, but whatever reason, he just was out tanking the damage and being hit, and they just, I mean, they were in a green bar by the time they finished with him. So
yeah, I think I don't know. It was such a weird situation because they. Essentially, what happened to them was what happened to what they did to Uchiha the week prior, is they just kind of completely got, if I recall correctly, they just completely got turned around on. I remember Sand was doing pretty well there for a little bit, but then Sound just did this massive, amount of damage, and to the point to where we were questioning if our handicaps were right.
Yeah, we checked and it was right. It was just. He just was taking just so much damage, and again, just watching it again, he was just he was out. That's all he was. He just was out.
Yeah.
And he just was being shreked,
Yeah, and I think
getting hit by an ultimate, getting comboed, and just not really doing anything. Kind of like his AI brain just kind of stopped, and he just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it was odd for Gaara, because usually Gaaras are pretty consistent. They're usually pretty sturdy characters who. Don't usually have performances like that.
Keep in mind, this is technically Hat Gaara is technically a different Gaara. It shares an AI slot, but it has its own PRM. It has its own, stats and everything. So it could, those costumes could react very differently to the same AI. That something that everyday Gaara might do well on, and I think that was probably the case because I think it's the same AI that they had been using on him. They just used a different costume that is technically a different character, and
Yeah, I'm
it just
pretty
didn't
sure.
go well. Yeah.
Not at all. No. So it's definitely something to think about. So I mean,
Yeah.
Suit Gara or what they were using before seemed pretty solid. So just this was very uncharacteristic, but you know, it's good to discover this stuff during preseason. You know, so
yeah, it's something that was unfortunate in this match, but it's something they could potentially turn into a strength. Like maybe, you know, maybe it's not just this AI that 5 Kage Summit Gara reacts differently on. Maybe it's like all AIs. You can get them to do very different things depending on what costume you're using.
yeah, and if you got the option to do that, then definitely maybe like you have AIs for Suit Gara that you find do well with him, and other AIs that work well with 5 Kage Summit.
Yeah, you'd basically have double the options. So that's not a bad thing at all. It's just, you know, you're going to have to definitely put some time into working out, you know, how exactly he acts before you even try using him. But for now, at least they have every day that has been doing pretty well. So, yeah. So that's about it for this one. And our next one is a good old Team Taka at Team Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was another
I
weird
loved
one.
The first bit of it.
Yeah. Sage won this match.
Yeah.
In a very strange fashion, very similar to what happened with Sound at Sand. Is Taka was doing really well. You know, they got through Sage's first lineup, and then they lost the second round, but they gave Sage 2 handicaps, I believe, right? Yeah, they gave him 2 handicaps. Went into a round
2 handicaps
3.
in our favor.
Yeah. And then they did a lot of damage at first, but then Sage just out of nowhere decided they were like, oh, we're in a match.
Yeah, what basically happened was we were trying to cut their aggression by just subbing as much as we can and going in for our aggression. But
yeah, I noticed you guys ran out of subs.
Whenever we subbed, then they would immediately chakra dash into us and continue the combos and continue the combos and continue the combos until we were just done.
Yeah. So
which can happen.
Yeah. It just came out of nowhere because, you know,
yeah,
it was super weird because the same lineup in the last match acted nothing like that.
I mean, it struggled to take down Taka's first lineup, and then it just all of a sudden just was a totally different lineup going into the third round.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
kept against them, and Donzo himself. I mean, like we were like screaming, like, "What's he doing out?" I mean, he's gonna take even more damage if he stays.
Yeah, and then he wrecks. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't think that, and this is not just because I hate Donzo. I still don't think that he's a reliable character because he has not been amazing up until this point, and I don't see any real reason as to why he suddenly was doing so well here. So if anything, that makes him inconsistent, and that's probably one of the worst things that you could have from a character. You don't know how they're gonna do.
Yeah, when you have really extremes like that, and it can be hard for the rest. So
yeah, because at least if you have a bad character, you know going in what to expect, and they can potentially surprise you. But if you just have somebody that's inconsistent, then it's incredibly difficult to work with that. And I think, you know, if this continues, if they use him again next week and he is yet again inconsistent, then I would suggest not using him in the main season. At least not in the first trimester. Get some more testing on him or something.
I mean, plus that you've been testing him already. I mean, like, I know there's characters I think we haven't seen since preseason week 1. I'm pretty sure Mitsuki's been benched this whole time, which I'm a bit surprised. Being a new member of the team, I would think, at least I would think you'd want maybe a little more data with them, just to kind of get an idea, to see where they're at.
I mean, yeah.
He had good performances in his tests. Like, he looked pretty solid from what I saw. And then he seemed very lackluster in his first debut match, and then hasn't been seen since.
Yeah. I feel like it's either they're confident in what he can do or the opposite.
True. That's true.
But at the same time, the most accurate way of actually getting a test for this character would be in preseason. So if they weren't confident in what he could do, you'd think that this would, he would be the one that they would be going out with a lot and getting a lot of preseason data on. But he hasn't been in.
And preseason is probably the best time to actually get somewhat really defined data with how a flow would go, like with teams picking lineups, scrolls, and then building against each other, and you're getting that environment, which is different from tests. Whereas tests, a lot of times you'll just pick a team, you're not gonna put any scrolls. You're just gonna have base characters versus base characters, and that's it. So I think this actually helps give you a more of a gauge of like performance. I think more accurate.
Yeah, I think so. It's just was a very weird way for this match to go. Honestly, I don't. To just kind of get back into that, like it seemed pretty normal up until round 3, and it was just like, oh, they have handicaps, so all of a sudden they're just gonna get super aggressive, waste all of Taka's subs, and just continue to dish out damage.
Well, I think a lot of it is partly my characters just not really working well with their subs. Like we saw the exact same thing with Kakashi.
Yeah, that's true.
But that could be cured with a more defensive item palette. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like you were saying afterwards, I think substitution scrolls or substitution logs could be something to legitimately look at for not only your team, but any team that happens to have that.
Oh no, I'm going the full extra mile when it comes to the main season. I'm making a complete defensive palette.
Oh, I see.
Sublogs, ointments, Book of the Mind's Eye, and turtle shell pills. Because we can do damage.
Yeah.
We apparently can't take damage. So
yeah,
there you go.
That's a good point. And yeah, I mean, this was just a weird. I don't even know if Sage can really take anything from this match either. So it's all around. It's just kind of a weird one. And
I will say before we move to the next match that it's not what I expected in our match around 3 when it started. So
yeah, it's not at all what I don't think anybody expected that.
I saw Karn, I'm like, whoop, GG.
Yeah, because logically you'd be like, oh, they're gonna do so much damage, and they did. They were doing a ton of damage, but they just couldn't.
Probably just my flashbacks from just some of the Taka tests that we've had. Just the death that she has brought upon our lineups.
Yeah, they were able to dish it out, but when Sage finally decided to dish their own damage out, it seems like they couldn't take it. Yeah. So that's, unfortunate. But, I mean, it can really happen to any team, to be honest. Like, if you're going up against somebody that's that aggressive, then if you run out of subs, you're what are you gonna do? Like, it's just just weird because this same lineup from Sage was not doing this in the previous round. That's the only reason that this is so weird.
Yeah.
Anywho, into the next match we have Stone at Jinchuriki, and this was. I'm not even gonna say probably. I feel like this one and match 7 are the closest matches that we had this week.
Yeah, this was a slugfest here.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and Gomo and I have our own thoughts about the match, and we still did well overall, of course, but we're still testing stuff.
I'm still angry that Kushina finally awakened, and she just immediately dashes into a team and ends it immediately, not even getting any benefit from the regenerator we put on her, of all things.
Yeah. As upsetting as that was, it was also really funny to me. So I found it okay. The main thing, that's worries me is the lack of ultimates from, like Fu and... strangely enough, Naruto, he didn't do ultimates. He had
a couple of times where he attempted the aura,
Yeah.
and then like he didn't do anything with it.
I think he
would
threw, like,
attempt to
one.
Just grab, like he grabbed like a madman.
Yeah.
He was like doing like what like Sage Naruto used to do for us last season with his tilt.
Yeah. He did a lot of grabs. He surprisingly threw out a lot of Rasengan.
Yeah, he did a full charge for Singen too.
Yeah, which is, that did a ton of damage.
And what I noticed is that like when he's did that, like I think I saw like some shurikens or something thrown, and it like had armor on it, so like it didn't knock him out of it when he was charging it. The enhanced jutsu.
Yeah, I think once it gets to a certain point, like the Rasengan gets armor. Like
Yeah,
it's
because I
weird.
did notice that. That's how he was able to finally get it off. Because I think Han tried to throw one, and then it basically like just it didn't do anything because he was already in the middle of charging it stage, and then he just threw it out.
Yeah.
It took almost like over half a bar of health.
Yeah, something crazy like that. But yeah, no, I mean, as much as we have our small gripes here and there, it's not like we did badly at all, and I'm not complaining about our team in the slightest. We had some weird things happen.
They're just not really doing exactly what we were building them for.
Yeah,
per se.
and that's completely fine. It is preseason. We're still testing stuff out, and we still won this match as close as it was. Which, by the way,
Yeah.
Stone did really well too. Han actually using his tilt really effectively, I found, which is cool to see. I think we got to see more of Roshi, right? I feel like we got to see a little bit.
A little
more.
bit, I think. Yeah, a little bit. And
Yeah.
like some of the combo strings they did.
Yeah, I mean it was good stuff, and definitely
But,
their
like-
Naruto was still pretty good.
Was it Tsuchikage or something like that?
Oh, Onuki, yeah.
Onuki, my god. Like, again, looking very solid. Like, he threw
Tons
out,
of
like, how many
ults.
ultimates did he throw out? Like, probably like 4 or 5?
Yeah, some crazy amount of ults. Weird graphical glitch ults, but still,
Yeah.
he threw out a ton, and that's really good. I think I don't know if Stone... I feel like Stone had to have known that they had that, and maybe that's why he hasn't been in much, because they're like, well, we already know what he does, but he does it very well, and it's something I think Stone has actually kind of lacked up until this point. Other than maybe Moo, he throws out ultimates every once in a while. They haven't
the other one
really
that-
had a ult spammer, I think.
Well, Data to some extent would sometimes
That's
throw out quite a
true.
few ultimates,
Yeah.
but having somebody that can do well in other combinations that isn't a fully ranged fighter, I think Onuki can fill that role really well for them, considering they have Han, very melee, Roshi as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, overall, this was a fun match to watch. It was super close.
Yeah, win or loss, you can't be disappointed in either side because it was a really good match for both sides. Good data, and it was a fun match to watch.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so next up we have Hidden Cloud at the Akatsuki, and this went to 2 rounds. Akatsuki won. And I'm not entirely sure what happened here. I mean, it wasn't like a complete huge turnaround like what happened in match 3 or 4, but it just felt like Cloud was trying but not able to do much. It was weird. And
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Sakanukan wasn't showing. It's probably one of the better weeks he had, I'd say. Like,
Yeah.
in combination with Raikage, was working well, but it felt like they were kind of on the defensive a lot. Like, just with what Akatsuki was throwing out, like they just really couldn't get any momentum going.
yeah, I felt like Sakanukan was doing better. I don't know if he necessarily complimented A, though.
Yeah, because I think what I've noticed sometimes he'll throw that wall up, and that sometimes ends up blocking or slowing the aggression. Like, it kind of resets the pace, which for a character like Raikage is probably not what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Sakanukan could work well with maybe a good mid-range fighter, like even like a Madara or like a maybe even somewhat to an extent maybe a ranged fighter possibly if you're looking for some just like maybe something to block projectiles while you're maybe hanging back.
Yeah, might be good. Yeah, it just didn't feel like they had a super, a lot of synergy here. Whereas Akatsuki was doing, actually, I found, obviously since they won so handily, I think they were doing really well.
Yeah, and Sasori actually proving to be a pretty solid addition. I mean, he's a free agent,
Yeah.
but nice to see them sticking with it and him actually seeming to work well enough with their lineup that we might actually see him in the regular season.
Yeah, and still, I mean, he could be a potential pickup for them next season.
Yeah, definitely. Which would be awesome, actually. I do like that. They are definitely lacking in the puppet users.
And and Akatsuki has, they have a lot of safe drops.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that as well. And if they wanted to kind of mix things up, that is completely possible. But yeah, again, this was another match where no awakenings occurred. Despite both teams having some sort of awakening build. No awakenings at all. So,
yeah, very, very light awakening so far.
Yeah.
I mean, save for like the two that happened in Jin's match.
Yeah, that's right. There was a second one in our match.
Yeah, I mean, you mean like I said, the first one I don't even count, but
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the second one was actually kind of substantial, but yeah. It's just it kind of sucks seeing teams attempt these awakening builds and them not really work out. But at the same time, different AIs are gonna.
It shows that they're not guaranteed. It's a chance you take, and it's not always going to happen. But sometimes it may not even be a detriment. If they don't awaken, then you still win. That's fine.
Yeah, they can still do well without it, and keep in mind, different AIs are going to do different things. So, maybe if it's something you're looking for, you'll find an AI that likes to awaken. I know we've found a couple that have liked to over others. So, it's a thing, and if it's something that you're interested in looking for, then it's definitely worthwhile if you can get a character to consistently do it, but that's just the problem. It's not... There are some characters, I would say most characters, that it's not a consistent occurrence. Especially because usually teams only have one character in at a time that's actually able to awaken, so that, on its own, unless you have a two-man team and both characters have at least power, you're automatically kind of minimizing your chances of that awakening happening. So, I mean, if it is something you really want to happen, you might have to go that direction with it. Possibly. Alright. Any more thoughts on this one?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay. Alright, so next up we have Hokage versus Uchiha. And this was another actually really strong and close match.
Yeah.
Closer than Stone at Jin, for sure. I mean...
Yeah.
Not by much, but you could literally not see the health.
No. It was really a good back and forth. Very some ultimate. I think it was a good mix of like some good ult use, as well as there was a lot of tilts, grabs, a lot of melee, just because this arena is very small to begin with.
Hokage showing very well. They did win here.
Yeah.
And I think they've had a pretty good preseason so far.
They're 2-1 so far.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Except for their match with Sound, they're pretty strong.
And I mean, this was definitely one of the more enjoyable ones this week, because it felt like nothing was really going wrong on either side. They were just fighting, and it got as close as it pretty much possibly could. And I think, that's really a good thing to see, and definitely a rarity from this week in particular. I don't know, it's just a very enjoyable match, and while I don't...
Hashirama was looking pretty strong too. He some good tilts he was using, some good ult use, and even with Tobirama he seemed to do rather well with him. For Uchiha's side, Sasuke again, PTS Sasuke being out a lot, tanking a lot of the damage is not exactly what they are wanting, just because he's going to take a little more innately anyways.
Yeah, and I don't think they really built him for it here. Let me actually see.
I think he just had a flak jacket, I think, didn't he? But I think he was like super or Ultimate +2.
Something like that. Let me see. I went to Hokage, not Uchiha. Uchiha. Yeah, preseason week 3, he just had a flak jacket. So he was at base defense. I think that especially at their home stage, where it is so tiny, I think that it's kind of a big deal to maybe, go with Burns' idea and be like, okay, we'll just build him a little defensively. And, we'll get to that. I think they are doing it next for this upcoming week, but especially if they're at home, I think it's even more important.
Yeah.
Just because it is so small.
That we noticed throughout the weeks is you'll notice tendencies for characters, certain ones that like to stay out a lot, and I've noticed that Sasuke in a 2-man and 3-man lineups a lot of times takes the lead, and he usually is out a lot. So if he is, then you maybe want to kind of I don't know,
either give him
build him more towards that,
or give him like a strong defensive support or something. I think that would be probably the best way to go about it. And I mean, I don't want to say too much right now, but so far it seems like that's what they're doing next week. So, yeah. Overall, though, really fun, exciting match. Fast paced for sure.
Yeah, and I will say too, I wouldn't get disheartened because I know Uchiha's been surprisingly on a losing streak. But I mean, it's preseason and it's just data. I mean, honestly, they might come into the regular season just blazing and just go in like 5-0 before that.
The only people on a losing streak.
Well, keep in mind, the opposite happened to Uchiha last season.
Yeah.
In last season's preseason, they went undefeated, I think, and then
I think so.
They went into the main season. I think they lost the first 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
With the third actually being a sweep by Taka. So that's, it can, just because you're doing well in preseason doesn't automatically translate into main season and vice versa, So, especially since there are so many new unknowns this season with AIs and everything, it really can go any way. And at the very least, even though this was a loss for them, it was a very close loss, and it was something that I felt they got a lot of data out of.
Yeah, I think, I mean, at least you can kind of see, like, the prior weeks, how you can kind of see the teams kind of evolving, like, and just kind of, like, how they progress. And I feel like you're starting to see that more now. They're starting to get things working, things are starting to kind of, they're finding the right AIs that work, the combinations that work well together. And it's starting to really kind of develop to this, and which is honestly, what else could you ask for in a preseason?
Yeah. By the way, Tobirama tilts, they were definitely a thing in this match, and it's really funny to see Tobirama's tilt actually being useful.
Yeah, I'm still not used to it.
Yeah. I don't know if we can ever get used to it. But into our match 8, speaking of water, we have Hidden Mist at Team Kurenai. And oh boy, did Kurenai just do really, really well here. I mean, Hanzo, he was doing a lot of ults. However, he was also eating a lot of damage. And I think that's important to say, because I watched their match back, and I was like, well, why did Mist do so bad? It didn't go to a round 3 or anything. I think it was a combination of the lineups, who was teamed up with who, and the fact that Hanzo, when he wasn't ulting, was just taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And a lot of aggression from Kurenai, for sure.
I mean, his ults, seem to really connect when he throws them out, because it's got a pretty good, he uses them a good time, got decent tracking.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't have any negatives to defense or anything, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He's not sickly or anything like that, right?
Yeah, no, he's definitely just a base defense character.
Okay.
So it's really hard to pin down why they didn't do well, but I think it might be kind of narrowed down to just the chemistry of who they had with who.
I think what like missed second lineup was Zabuza Udakata,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I don't know if I've seen that in tests. I mean, I know he might just be trying to test things and just kind of see how things work, but just thinking of those two together. I mean, yeah, Zabuza got like what Water Dragon for I guess support.
Yeah. Which did come in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had Udakata with a defense +1, whereas Zabuza had a defense -1. So, you know, it was going to be a tough match with that kind of, you know, lack of chemistry there between not only the characters that are out, but also the builds. Like, if one character is going to be doing a lot of offense while another does a lot of defense, then that might be kind of, you know, a little tricky. And I think it was definitely a very risky move, because even though I don't think Kurenai had a ranged character in their first lineup.
Nope.
But if they did, it might have been even worse for them.
Yeah.
Considering, you know, a lot of ranged characters beat Udakata's ranged combos.
And I was really sad that they didn't get to the second lineup, because it would have
Yeah.
been Shino versus Udakata, and I kind of really wanted to.
I wanted to see that too. But, I mean, it's a possibility for their, you know, eventual rematch. So, might be a thing down the line. Overall, though, yet another very strong week from Kurenai. They haven't...
Have they lost at all yet?
No, they haven't. This is their third consecutive win.
Are they the only team that's undefeated so far in the preseason?
I think so. Let me look. No, they're not the only one. The other team that's done it is Sound.
You're right.
Yeah, it's Kurenai and Sound. Those are the two that have won every match so far.
Wow.
Yeah. So, impressive stuff for sure. But yeah, no, I mean, I wish it would have been closer. I wish we would have been able to see that Udakata versus Shino, but at the same time, you know, we're in preseason, of course. Things are going to be tested. And, I mean, all things considered, I think that they just had a hard time being able to finish Kurenai. I think that there was just too much aggression from Kurenai's side for Mist to really be able to deal with it, especially when Zabuza was out, and having that, you know, defense negative was just, I don't know, I think it was a little bit too much for them. So, anywho, that's it for next, or last week rather. Let's move on to questions. And it looks like we don't have nearly as many as last week, so...
We only got those questions.
Yeah.
So I got to pull up here if you're ready. I can go over these here.
Okay.
The first one is from Momijibot. 3 questions considering the season. Gold, I see. Gold, frankincense, myrrh. That's nice, okay. What has been your favorite match of the preseason so
favorite match preseason so far? I don't know, what is it for you, Gomo?
I mean, I don't usually like to pick our own team, but I still enjoyed match 1 against Mist.
True, that was a fun.
I thought that was pretty fun.
For me, let's look, because we've had several good ones so far. Shit.
Can I say mine?
Yes, you can say yours while I look.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick one from my team.
Okay.
It's kind of lame that I do that, but still. I am going to say Taka and Sage, which seems weird, but for the first half of that match, I was able to completely prove that Jugo on an attack plus build can do some nice work.
Yeah.
Real nice work.
True.
And while the ending was not great, at least Karin did try a tilt that did some real nice damage. Did more than a Jutsu's damage, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
But also she tried 2 ultimates.
Yeah, I mean,
so
not a bad reason to pick a match.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
In my
solely be
opinion,
based.
even though we didn't win and even though we did lose, it showed that apart from Takasasuke, which we were trying to do some things with, and Madara, the rest of the team was fairly solid. So basically, just Jugo and Karin were real solid.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it's a different reason for Gomels, but from Gomels, but I think it's still a very valid reason because even though
Mhm.
at the end of that match you were just kind of like, what happened? It was still good for you for a few reasons. So
Mhm.
and considering it's preseason, you can take those kind of things into account. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
I can and I will.
Yeah. For me, I'm probably gonna say it is hard to not pick your own. I mean, I actually one of the ones we just talked about, I felt like Hokage versus Uchiha was really enjoyable actually. Um,
Mhm.
just a really fun match to watch. If I did have to pick one that was my team, I would agree with you, Gomon Seijin versus Mist. Our match versus Stone this week was really good too,
That was really good too.
but I enjoy week one, match one, just seeing all the
It was
crazy
chaotic.
barrage of ults. Yeah.
Like I still get like the team ultimate from like Mist
Oh
against
my
like
god.
Sarada's like ultimate of her fireballs and
Who would
burning
win?
through them.
A team ultimate or some fireballs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I would answer for both of those. Okage Uchiha and Gen and Mist.
Okay. So his next part of this, what matches are you the most excited for next week, barring your own matches?
Good question.
I mean, I can take a quick. We haven't gone over this stuff yet, but we can kind of just take a. Let's see here. So we have Jin Kakashi, Kuronai Stone, Sand Akatsuki, Cloud Minato, Kage Asuma, Guy Uchiha, Mistaka, Sage Sound.
Yeah. This could be interesting. I'm actually this is a hard question.
And kind of actually for me, besides our own team, Kuronai Stone sounds like it might be pretty interesting. Like Kuronai itself, and then Stone, who hasn't been looking too bad. I mean, I'd say based on last week's performance, I'd say if they bring that same level to Kuronai's match, that might be pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree, but there's also a possibility, and I think it actually might be a certainty, that we might see Shino versus Datara, and I don't know how I feel about that. So,
Well, before I knew that, I just was looking at
right,
just the T.
yeah,
So I'll just hold that without any like
okay,
knowledge of.
yeah,
Yeah,
you can just go with that, and have it shattered later. Um,
I'll keep my innocence, please.
I'm gonna say Hokage at Asuma, just because I think I don't know. Hokage's been doing really well so far in this preseason, and I think that I mean, granted, Asuma hasn't been having the greatest preseason themselves, but I don't know. I've been interested in following them and seeing if they're gonna do well, especially ever since they beat us like that well. Um, so I think that that's probably what I'm looking forward to. If I had to pick another, it'd probably be your match, Burn.
Yeah.
Because
Why is
reasons.
that?
Because reasons that we will get into.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And for you, Burn.
Well, see, here's the thing. I would have to say there's a lot that I'm looking forward to this week. This week seems pretty cool. For many different reasons. I like Kakashi Jin because I want to see if Jin can survive that lineup that destroyed my team. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see if Stone was able to take their loss against me in week one, work their way towards a solid foundation, and looks better going into week one for next week, for the main season. I want to see if Akatsuki does things, because Akatsuki has been kind of all over the place, and Sand has kind of been the same. They've been a bit more solid, but after last week, I'm questioning a lot of things. Cloud Minato, I mean, Minato has been shaky. I mean, they've done good stuff, but they haven't really come together quite as much. And Cloud has been dominant, so I want to see if Minato can take them out. Hokage Asuma. Asuma has been fairly solid. They still got the most testing out of the entire testing everything.
Yeah.
But they still have been losing.
Yeah.
Specifically with the double Chojis. And I want to see if Hokage can continue their streak and make some solid matchups for Asuma and see if they can take down the champions. Guy Uchiha, Guy was impressive last week.
Yeah.
But Uchiha has been struggling. I want to see if Uchiha has come together. I want to see if that defense +2 works, if they end up doing the defense +2 with PTS Sasuke. I haven't checked yet. My team, my match, I don't think I need to say much about that. Sage Sound, I want to see if Sage is actually able to dethrone Sound as undefeated during the preseason. And I also want to see Sage lose, because fuck them for last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. I guess I could extend my answer to say, to touch on what you just said, is that I want to see if Kurenai and Sound can stay undefeated this preseason, because I think that is actually a very interesting thing if they can go 4-0.
And then if they do, then everyone else can call the team the OP team.
Yeah.
Going into the regular season. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, do you have any more you were going to say?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, so the last part of Luigi's question, best comeback of the preseason so far.
Oh man, we had a couple this week, didn't we?
I mean, I know there were some good ones, but I can't.
No, there's an especially good one, I think, this week, and I'm really trying to remember what it was.
Wasn't
I will stab you if you put Sage and.
That's not what I was gonna say, but.
What about the Asuma Cloud match? Wasn't that like something that, like, didn't Asuma get them down, then Cloud just came back and just basically just kind of wiped them with that second lineup of theirs?
I guess I can say that one match with Uchiha versus Cloud, that one round where Road to Boruto Sakura and PTS Sasuke like made that comeback.
Oh, in that match, in that part where they
trying to think of another one here. I mean, I guess Sand. No, I don't know, because it's.
I think it's a little bit harder because since there's fewer matches, it's not like where you had like 3 lineups where like it was more, it stood out a lot more. Here it's like it can happen, but it doesn't feel like it's as big of a leap in terms of like, you know, huge comeback, you know, because it's only like a match difference. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. It's really hard to say. I feel like we had a really big comeback this week, but I don't remember what it might have been in Hokage Uchiha. I'm not certain about that though. So for now, I'm just gonna say Uchiha Cloud round 1.
And I'm Asuma Cloud for my reason.
Yeah.
Still.
Boing.
What?
Did you answer?
No. I don't think I can.
Okay. All right. That's fair. It's kind of a tough question.
Kind of tough. So the last question we got is from Full Metal Poncho. Which characters do you wish were in Storm Force so they could be on rosters?
Probably more of the Boruto kids, I guess. I mean, I think there are certain teams that definitely need roster expansions, but I don't know, because I for one would really love to see like the 7 missed swordsmen, but that's basically only giving people 2 hit and missed, which would be a lot of extra characters for them to have. Somebody that really needs characters is Stone, but I'm also not sure who else they can. I guess like Kurotsuchi.
And what was that big the larger build man?
I forget his name.
That guy.
Yeah. Akatsuchi.
Like Akatsuchi. Yeah. Him.
Yeah, Akatsuchi and fucking
Kurotsuchi. Yeah.
And I know Taka's also in need, but I don't know if like
there's nobody.
Yeah, there's really nobody you guys can get.
Maybe full seal like Jugo or something. I don't know. It's just final form.
That would be
I'd
awesome.
rather have that be his like an alternate costume and to have that as his awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see like new movesets for them, because they did show some like new abilities and new moves like in the war arc. Do you remember that?
Didn't Karin have chains or something?
Yes, Karin actually used her chains.
Just like Mama.
Why the fuck she can't be?
Well, yeah, because like she used chains really early on, like after her, but she never used them in any of the games as far as I know. And then she used them again in the war. And Suigetsu was shooting water finger guns like fucking Gengetsu. And that could have been cool.
I mean, you should just be happy she doesn't fight with cutlery burn, and she just has perfume. They could have gone that way with her, since they seem to like to give female characters odd things to fight with. Yeah.
I guess if I had to think of maybe other characters I wish were in... Really, a lot of what I wish for is just updated movesets of, like, the Konoha 11, I guess.
Yeah. K11, K12.
Yeah.
Here's one from Stone, apparently.
Oh, is she like a filler character or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naruto episode 148.
Yeah.
Suzume Bachi.
So definitely a filler character, yeah.
Fucking B users.
I mean, I don't think that there are too many more characters you can really put into it. To be honest, I think that we have most of the characters.
Save for, like, Boruto characters, I mean, because that's pretty much where you're going to get a lot of the new stuff.
Honestly, I would rather have, like, a way to put Akatsuki cloaks or the hats like they did on Revolution on whoever.
I would like to see the return of the accessories. That would be cool.
Yeah, accessories were cool.
Yeah. I mean, anything I think of at this point...
Is there really nobody else that could fit Taka?
I mean, no. It's the only characters that were considered Taka are the ones that you have. It's just Sasuke, Suigetsu, Karin, and Jugo. You could maybe stretch and say that because Toby helped them with their...
No.
But that's not a thing. So, we
what
have
about Zetsu?
Zetsu's definitely not.
Because not even White Zetsu?
No. Because immediately as soon as Sasuke got EMS, he killed Zetsu. Like, immediately.
Right.
Taka's pretty much
no fucking idea.
the Ginyu Force of Naruto League.
Yeah,
kinda.
As far as like actual theme goes, yeah.
Roster theme, yeah.
You can only have 2 Sasuke.
Yeah.
There's no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
And also, you're limited to these 4 Sasukes, 2 of which are on different teams. LOL.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, if there were a way to give Taka and Stone more options, I guess that would be what I would wish for. And maybe Cloud, too. But I don't know who else you could... I guess C from Cloud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, C would do it. Mm-hmm. C was actually kind of cool with his support-only jutsu.
Yeah.
I would want Kurenai to actually be a character.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for saying that.
How could we... Oh, my God. She's just been out of it so long. We just totally just gotten used to the fact that she's not there.
Yeah.
And there's even
no.
Anko, too. I mean,
it's the reason why we didn't remember her is because she tried to Genjutsu.
Genjutsu
or
Itachi.
Genjutsu Itachi. So he erased her from existence.
Speaking of Kurenai, I would really love to see like them try to do a moveset of like her daughter, because her daughter looks awesome.
Ooh.
I love her design, and I'm not really sure. I know she fights with like Asuma style, like knuckle
with her,
blades.
yeah.
So that's pretty rad. Yeah, I'd like to see them like try a hand at that and actually make it a moveset for adult Konohamaru, because they made like a half-assed moveset for him that's not a full moveset, and it makes me sad.
You know, technically, if we want to, we can give Taka more options.
How?
We just remove the one bit of you can only have these two Sasuke's, just you can have two Sasuke's. Like, I could, instead of having Taka, have Wanderer. Shit like that.
I mean, I could see that. Possibly, yeah. That would give you more options.
That would give me a fuck ton more options.
But yeah.
I guess it
still
depends on how, like, if you just go, like, loosely by the theme, like, okay, they don't have to actually be in, like, the same kind of era Taka. Just be a soft. And then,
Yeah.
But it depends on how you want to go about that.
I mean, you kind of do the same thing with Team Kakashi, because in the later bits, Kakashi isn't the teacher, right? It's Yamato.
Yamato's actually,
also,
I mean, he only really functions as their leader for like one arc.
Oh. The one arc that I watched of Shippuden. Great.
Yeah.
Well, and even some of the older Sasuke to an extent too. Like, he pretty much wasn't Team 7 anymore at that point. He, like, PTS Sasuke was the extent of Team 7. After that, he left. He was never really part of it, you know.
And with how we have the rules with Naruto League, we just have he's Sasuke, he belongs on Team 7.
Right.
They can get whatever Sasuke. So that's an option.
Yeah, which I think for a
if
team
you want to go that route, but...
with a theme that's, you know, pretty limited like that, if we can give them more options that way, I think that makes sense. And it, you know, it could serve as a possible argument for your idea, Burn. So, you know, some things to consider. But yeah, any characters that I would like would pretty much solely be for the purpose of giving us more options in Naruto League.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like...
Oh, I know there's a character that you wanted to mod in, but we never got around to.
Oh.
And that was White Zetsu.
Yeah, the, what the fuck was his name? Guru?
Yeah, Guru.
He technically is a character. He's just a Toby clone. But he has his own AI and his own stats.
He was the one that when in the game when Ito was fighting against him, right, kind of thing.
Yeah, he's the one that has the swirly face.
Yeah.
That the original Toby mask is modeled after.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Any more questions, or was that it?
Let me refresh it here to see. No, that was it. So
Cool.
Thanks again for the questions, Momiji-bot and Fumado Poncho. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So time to do predictions.
Looks like Sin didn't get any questions in.
Yeah.
He's slacking.
What the
What a
hell?
scrub.
What a scrub. So you did go in.
He's gonna complain to me.
You did go in a little detail
Thumbs down.
earlier, Burn, but about these matches next week. But we didn't actually, you know, say who we thought would win. So that's what we're gonna do now. First up, we have Jin at Kakashi.
Okay.
I'll let you go first,
Who's
Brian.
in, who's out? Who's in, who's out?
Well, I'll look at Kakashi first. Let's see.
I know Kakashi has the team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who's out for
lineup.
Jin. It is Kushina and Sarada.
Yeah.
Kushina Sarada. Okay. What's the
And
second one?
No, I mean they were out. I'm sorry, I wasn't in the lineup. I was just telling you out.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
yeah.
Kushina Sarada.
Yeah.
Huh.
Lineup though I think it was Wargara and Fu for the first lineup.
Ooh.
And then Sagemo Naruto PTS Gara. Just trying to get like a mix
Okay.
of possible ult spam with Melee.
Wow. Wow, okay. I'm definitely going to say Team Kakashi has a hard um time ahead of them, but also they have a distinct advantage because of how I feel that um that Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura team works.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
It's like the what the PTS 1010 team last season for Kakashi. God.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. I mean, obviously Gomo and I would want our team to win, but I mean, I'm sure you feel this way too, Gomo. I don't I'm not the most confident in this going into this match.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, a win would be nice, but I'm honestly looking for like if
Data.
we lose, but the characters actually do what we built them for, I'll be happy with that. That's really what I'm looking for here. I'd like to go to a 3-round, of course, so both sides get to get a good showing. I'm fine with that. I just don't want to see just naturally like a Taka level, Spur Stone level, like just destruction. You know, because that's not going to give us anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously gonna say Jinchuriki, but I think that it will be very hard fought for sure.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna give it to Kakashi because of one reason.
What?
Now, the second lineup is not as solid in my opinion. It's got a lot of questionable stuff. It's got Sakura and Double Sharingan Kakashi, which, I mean, Sakura has been okay, Double Sharingan Kakashi has been okay, but the thing is, they have Sasuke, he's in the lead, he's got Datara AI,
Yeah.
which is the one that they used for the contention match, and here's his build. Let me read it aloud to you.
God.
Attack +1, Flak Jacket, Extended Reach, Ultimate Grab. You're fucked, son.
God.
The biggest grab in the entire game, and he put Extended Reach on it.
It becomes a question of if we can get through the first lineup.
Yes.
I feel such like just malice from Gur looking at this. Like
Top 10 anime
this
betrayal.
isn't season 4, Gur. That says pre-season.
You fuck.
God.
You fuck.
Oh man.
Okay,
So
next one.
Next one.
Current Hyatt Stone.
All right.
What do you
I'm
think?
gonna bring up the stuff.
Okay.
We have Stone, who has benched Roshi and Mu, and instead has Datara Onoki in the starting lineup. And Kurenai has benched RTB Garia, PTS Kiba, and has PTS Hinata and PTS Shino in for the first lineup.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know how I feel about this.
PTS Hinata, PTS Shino sounds pretty aggressive.
And that's versus
Yeah,
Datara
very
and
aggressive.
Onoki.
Yeah.
I mean,
The second lineup is Han, RTB Naruto, and Onoki.
Yeah.
ooh.
I don't know how I feel about this because, like, Stone with the first lineup will be really ranged. You have
Range and ult heavy.
Onoki. Yeah, Onoki with ultimate +1, Datara with attack +1,
Yeah.
with Toxic Kunai, ultimate tilt, and NCST. So that's interesting. Onoki on ultimate. So if Onoki can ultimate the kids, that could be real interesting.
Yeah.
But then, on the flip side, if Kurenai gets their first lineup destroyed, their next lineup is Shippuden Shino, Everyday Kiba, PTS
Oh my
Hinata.
god.
Wait, they can't do that. They had PTS Hinata start, so PTS
Oh.
Shino has to start.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh. Yeah. That's
He technically did run
That's an
this.
error. We're gonna have to tell Buzz about that.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just have to get rid of PTS Hinata because she can't be in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I either that or have him switch to PTS Shino. But what did
Yeah.
we do last time when this happened?
Well, we ended up just because it was during the
Stan
since it was during the match itself, we just basically just removed the duplicate. Pretty much, we basically got rid of the person that was in the first lineup out of the second lineup as well because they couldn't be there.
Okay. There you go. You're gonna have to tell Buzz.
Yeah, this is technically my fault.
Did he show it to you?
Yes, he showed it to me. I mainly looked at the builds and was like, "This is okay," because the builds are fine. It's just the lineup.
I did notice on for Stone's lineup, Han with defense +2, crippling pursuit, essence of striking, and sleep palm.
Jesus Christ, dude!
That sounds God.
If he can
get on you,
man.
and, like you be so like slowed down, and then if he gets those full combos in, I mean.
I'm gonna say this is different because since this is actually my fault for not catching this, I'm gonna give him an option, and I'm talking to him right now. So
yeah, have him start PTS Shino or get rid of PTS Sonata.
oh, it's supposed to be PTS Shino. Okay.
Oh, it's supposed to be PTS Shino.
That makes it easier.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Just a slip of the Hinata.
And now this is recorded, so everybody can verify. Lol.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he confirmed. All right. So the lineup.
So double Shino and Kiba.
Yes.
Yeah, double Shino Kiba.
Oh boy.
I'm still gonna say Stone because I love that build for Han. I hope it actually works.
I really like it too.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with him, like last week too. So I mean, if he can really keep on throwing those ults out, I mean.
Oh my God! Look at Naruto's build.
Oh.
That tilt is
Ultimate tilt Halo dance. Oh.
Oh my God. No.
Oh, man, we're not facing that Naruto.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, we're facing Sasuke with something even more threatening and deadly. Oh yeah, damn it, never mind.
Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what I'm facing yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know because I feel like Datara has a very distinct possibility to fuck this up for Stone. Like, what if he just stays out the whole time and Onoki doesn't get to ult? I feel like
there's one key thing though. Datara's not facing Taka.
I guess Datara also likes to ult
Can
himself.
you guys fucking stop, please?
I mean, basically, I don't think he's gonna have as heavy pressure in this as he has had before. So I think he might fare a little better in this matchup.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna go ahead and say probably Kurenai for me, but I would love to see Stone win. I just think that Datara could fuck it up. I do think that he has less pressure generally, and if it comes down to a match of him versus Shippuden Shino, which I sincerely hope it doesn't. I do think that he would have the advantage.
The only positive is that they're starting Datara, so he's only in once. He's not going to be a persistent threat or aspect of the rest.
He's not going to be a DBZ league
Katara. Have that second lineup. Oh.
I mean, that second lineup honestly looks just
So he's going to be a really shitty DBZ league Patara.
I'll put my Datara scroll.
Persistent threat. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna give this one to Kurenai, but I would like to see Stone win just as a personal preference.
I'm gonna give it to Stone. Again, like as you said, I really like the second lineup that they have, and just the fact that they have Onoki in twice. I'm really like with his build. I don't know if he was on the ultimate build last week, but if he wasn't, he's gonna hit a lot harder now. So
let's see. He certainly was.
Oh, he was. Okay, so about the same build, default AI again?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Default AI throwing the alt set. Okay,
Right.
yeah. So if we get that Onuki again, that could be pretty nasty.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so next we have Sand at Akatsuki. What do you guys think of this one?
Let's get the build up here. And Akatsuki. This is all new to me too. I haven't looked at any of these yet. So
Yeah,
let's
me
see.
neither, really.
So for Sand, they benched Rock, and again, Swimsuit Tamari is the free agent bench again. I'm glad they defined the swimsuit. So
They're just doing it to trigger you. You know this, right?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, by the way, how do you like their lineups where they gold suit?
Suit
They put suit in
Gara.
gold.
they really
Just
want
so
to
you know.
make me notice it when I'm reading
Yeah.
the box.
Yeah.
They're like,
No, but
see
really
it.
though, suit.
Suit Gara.
And it looks like, of course, it'd help if they actually put who their benches were.
Akatsuki is finally using Toby, by the way.
So that means Conan is benched and
Conan and
Sasori.
Sasori. Okay.
Sasori. First week we haven't had Sasori in. Okay.
I see.
Tired of
Tired of
Bencast
Bencast
missing the testing field. Hurting my feeling. Your one feeling, not many feelings. Your one feeling.
Hey, you talk to Nagato. He's not giving us his pain train that we wanted.
Wild ride.
Wild ride.
Chakra +2, ultimate -1 for Nagato.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
5 element seal.
Kakashi AI? I don't know if he's gonna ult, but
With 5 element
He might
seal,
not, I don't know.
he's not. I wouldn't think.
yeah.
Well, he's got chakra +2, so it's not the biggest deal.
What?
He'll just use all that chakra.
Okay.
I feel like that 5 element seal is kind of saying we're not giving you that wild ride. We're just putting this on him. Deal with it.
I'm just gonna stop trying to analyze Pie Guy's builds because he is clearly testing. So I'm gonna say,
I do like Toby's build.
Toby's build is good. I think what's funny to me is they had a conversation earlier, Spoofy and Pie Guy.
Ceiling palm.
Is that
Yeah.
Pie Guy was like, well, if we had used Saucery, we would have had like a puppet face off in round 1, and Spoofy was like, well, that's you're assuming that we're using PTS Conqueror on our first lineup, and that's exactly what they're doing. So
Yep.
So lineup wise,
Round.
PTS Kank with Sweet Gora and Sweet Sai.
Gar actually has an awakening build, by the way. That's the thing.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah. So if he does awaken
With Generator.
Generator.
Generator. It's
Yeah,
like Generator's long lost brother, Regenerator.
Burn. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. Well, who's home? Let me see. Akatsuki's home. This is a small map. That actually, to me, feels like Akatsuki has an advantage. Just because.
I'll never speak of him again, Burn. I'm sorry.
At least against PTS Conqueror. I don't know how well PTS Conqueror can hold up in extremely close quarters like that.
That's true, and I think Pain and Toby have been a pretty good combination in tests from what I've seen from Akatsuki. So
Yeah.
that might be pretty interesting.
I mean, I'm not gonna diss your builds anymore, Pie Guy, but as weird as some of the decisions here are, I think I will probably still give it to Akatsuki, just personally. They have been the matches they've actually won. I feel like they've been on quite a roll in them.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hope we get to see Ceiling Palm actually work.
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'd say I would probably go Akatsuki. I feel like at this point they feel a little more consistent in terms of their builds, even though they're testing. Especially last week, it really put into question a little bit with Sand, like especially with Gara. Like, I mean, I know that was a different variation, so hopefully Suit Gara will bring back kind of the, what we have seen.
Yeah, Suit Gara. So
Yeah.
there you go. All right. Did you go Burn? Did you say?
Katsuki.
Akatsuki. Okay.
And on to the next match. We have Cloud at Minato.
Whoa, I need to know who's in this. Hold on.
So Cloud, their first lineup is Sakon Yukito versus Minato's first lineup of Jonin Minato and Unmasked Obito.
Neat.
We will not be seeing Rin or Yamato from Minato, and there's no benches from Cloud.
No third Raikage. No Raikages.
What?
Neither of them. Yep.
Oh.
No record.
By the way, just as a note, because I know you do listen to these Aries, once we get out of preseason, I would really super appreciate it if you did list your benches. And this goes for anybody that hasn't done that. Pie Guy as well.
You're supposed to. Everybody's supposed to.
Yeah, because we do have like a list of everyone's benches, and it just makes it a lot easier and eliminates the potential for screw-ups.
Maybe someone benching the same character twice in a row. You know, it's easier when you actually see it.
Yeah.
Yes. When you see who was benched.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, builds. Sakon has attack +1, piercing palm, essence of striking, body flicker. Darui has ultimate +1, ultimate chakra saver, Naruto's chakra sharing, essence of striking, and lightweight. Interesting.
Minato's Jonin Minato and Unmasked Obito. Minato looks like he's an attack build with crippling pursuit. Actually, so we'll see if that comes into play with Berserker or Super Dash. That's not bad, actually. I like that. Unmasked Obito, ultimate grab, sleep palm, essence of finishing, attack +2. So again, a very offensively heavy first lineup from them.
Double attack builds, and then double defense for the second lineup.
Interesting.
Along with Unmasked Obito, who has attack +2.
Yeah. Yugito has chakra +2, released power, self-cursing seal, gentle fist, and flak jacket.
We might see a kitty.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Kitty.
And B has attack +2, essence of finishing, extended reach, ultimate grab. That's not a bad build. Yeah. And as for Minato, young Kakashi has defense +2, super dash, unstoppable, and ultimate tilt. So, and then
it's a double cock team.
Yeah, double cock. Jonin Kakashi has defense +1, ultimate chakra saver, Naruto's chakra sharing, and flak jacket. So it seems like they're going with the just like a defensive, possibly ult spammy kind of team. So that's interesting.
And of course, going with Jonin and Kakashi again. So that's neat.
Yeah. Could be an interesting match here. It is at Minato, so it's a smaller stage than it would be if it was at Cloud's home, and Cloud also does not get the water buff, or the lightning buff rather. I don't know. I'm really torn on Minato because I'm not entirely sure how to survey how they've been doing this preseason. They've had some good matches, but they've also had some kind of bad ones. So I don't know. For me, it's a tough call.
I'm gonna say Minato, mainly because I feel like some of the most solid performances we've seen from Cloud have been with Raikage.
That's true.
And Raikage, since they're both benched, I feel like that leaves Sakon Ukon, who has been somewhat inconsistent. He does okay. Yukito, similar fashion. B and Darui, I think we only saw 1 week. Whereas I feel some of the characters we're seeing from Minato, I feel like we've seen them a little more, and I feel like even in some of the losses they've had, I feel like it hasn't been terrible for their part. So I would give it to them, just based on that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think this is definitely not the strongest lineup Cloud could be bringing. So I think for that reason, I'd probably give it to Minato as well. What about you, Burn?
Me? I'm going to say it's going to be a rough fight either way. I have faith in Minato. I want to see if they're able to come together because, like I said before, I mean, Cloud has been on a streak.
Yeah, except for last week, but they've been doing well.
Yeah, except for last week, they've been doing extremely well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so Minato.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I said.
So we're all Minato. All right. Okay, on to our next match. We have Hokage at Asuma.
So
I'm gonna say Hokage.
It's like, bro, you want to do the builds? No.
No,
No.
it's not. Okay, so
Asuma is their first lineup. Kakazu and Choji. They benched and Asuma.
mhm.
So that's their first lineup, and then they have PTS Choji and Shikamaru. So no double Choji. That's already looking
Better. Yeah.
Mhm.
Kakazu with the same like awakening build again.
He's really pushing that awakening build.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not bad. Like it's preseason and all.
Yeah.
Overall, it seems like the same standard builds for everybody, which is
And then Hokage, they benched Minato and Hashirama. Their first lineup: Hokage, Naruto, Hiruzen, Tobirama.
right.
Hiruzen, Tsunade. So Tsunade's in this week too. So
Yeah, she hasn't been in since what, like preseason week 1? Yeah.
Yeah, and she's of course got all the self-cursing seals elements.
Yeah.
5 element seal, self-cursing seal, crippling pursuit, and flak jacket with an attack plus 2.
Ooh.
Tobirama
Nice.
actually has Halo Dance.
Oh my god. That's
Ultimate tilt
beautiful.
Halo Dance. Boy,
Yeah.
you expected this water to cool you off? No, you're on fire now. Gasoline.
Hiruzen is on an awakening build again. And Hokage Naruto is on his like standard just chakra build. I actually it's weird, but I think I might actually like be like Hokage on this one, cuz while Asuma has, I feel like, stronger lineups here, there's a couple. I mean, Hokage's been doing really well lately. Asuma has not been doing as well. Also, if his titles are to be believed, he hasn't actually looked at who he's been fighting for the past 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's kind of not good. I feel like that's, strategically it's kind of weak.
It at least helps. I mean, you may not be looking for wins, but it helps you kind of build around the strengths of your team a bit.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like testing goes, I think it's fine. But if we're looking at
Plus, knowing what
wanting
you're
to
going to
win,
be facing too, the size of the map also can be a big factor. Especially if it's a water map, it's a very small map, large map. There's a lot of factors.
yeah. So, I mean, I think I'm gonna say Hokage.
Same from here as well. Just because, I mean, Hokage Naruto himself. I mean, you saw what he did to us.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, if we see that again, he's very strong, looking very good, and Hiruzen especially. That alone, I'd give it to them.
So we're all for Hokage then.
Yo.
All right. Fuck you, Anthony. Match 6. We have.
Stop. Relax.
Oh,
Can
it's
you
gonna be
stop
a thing
going in
now.
on your microphone, please.
It's gonna be a thing. Guy
Seriously,
Uchiha.
Marcus, stop doing that. Please. Especially during the matches. Stop.
Okay. Fine. Never gonna have fun.
Just
Guy at
you
Uchiha.
can still say the same thing. Just don't go in on your microphone.
Guy at
And blow out my
Uchiha.
earphones.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Guy at Uchiha. What do you guys think? I guess we'll look at benches first. Uchiha.
I don't have such a hard time looking for those filthy Uchiha. I just can never seem to find them initially in the lineup.
Well, they don't exist anymore.
If there wasn't that wall that separated them, it'd probably a lot easier to see them.
Okay.
So Guy,
Okay.
War Neijin, War Guy,
Let me say something really quickly.
Yes.
and Wonder Sauce.
I like the colors that was used in the builds a lot more than the first week
Yes.
or the second week.
because the second week there were 9 friggin' colors and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's uniform. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, that's true. The week 2 kind of looked like opening up like a package of nerds, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And all different colors,
yeah.
and all of them are bright colors, and all of them are assaulting your eyes. You're trying to read, and it's just jumbling.
It's like looking at a GeoCities webpage.
Oh
back.
god.
Yes, exactly.
It's not good.
All right, so we have first lineup for Uchiha is Road to Borto Sasuke with Inferno style Fireball Jutsu. With Madara,
Okay.
Voices, Wanderer Sasuke, Everyday Neji, Ed Neji,
I read that as Ed Neji.
Ed and Neji, and
Oh my
Warley.
god, okay.
Ed Neji.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Hold on. There's Ed, double E,
Yeah.
Lee, and then you have Wander Sasuke, who's Eddie.
Oh god.
Mind blown. This is the connection is real.
As for benches, Uchiha has RTB Sakura and Shisui benched, and Guy.
Sakura's benched again. She's
Yeah.
been benched since week 1, hasn't she?
Yep. And Guy has both 10-10s benched,
Yeah.
Ooh.
which
okay.
is an
So
interesting
no range,
move.
there's just melee, and it's gonna be at Uchiha.
I can see why. I can see why. Actually,
Yeah,
they would do that.
I wouldn't
That's
use
actually pretty
10-10
smart. I would
on
do that
Uchiha's
too.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not ship it in.
Yeah.
So, as for builds, Madara's got an attack +2, Essence of Striking, Body Flicker, and Ultimate Chakra Saver on default. RTB Sauce has Defense +1, Essence of Striking, Ultimate Tilt, Halo Dance, also default AI. Itachi has Chakra +2, Flak Jacket, Crippling Pursuit, and Chakra Saver. And PTS Sasuke has a Defense +2, Attack -1, Naruto's Chakra Sharing, Air Step, Released Power,
Oh,
and Ultimate Chakra Saver.
interesting. Is his awakening the with the wings that Curse Seal too?
I mean, if they're using the
Or is that
first
costume
costume,
too?
They're using.
so
Yeah,
yes.
we don't know the costume, so
I'm going to
that has to
assume,
be it.
yeah, since they didn't specify, I'm going to assume it's the Curse Mark II Awakening.
So,
yeah.
okay.
As for Guy, they have Wanderer Sasuke, Chakra +2, Ultimate Tilt, Halo Dance, Naruto's Chakra Sharing, Neji, Attack +1, Siphon Palm, Flying Thunder God, and Lee, Defense +1, Ultimate Chakra Saver, Essence of Finishing, Self-Cursing Seal, and Flak Jacket.
I like the self-cursing seal on Lee.
Yeah, and
I
then
really like it.
Guy, Chakra +1, Ultimate Chakra Saver, Naruto's Chakra Sharing, and
CST.
Piercing Palm.
Some interesting builds
Yeah.
actually between Lee and I even like the Siphoning Palm on Neji because he seems to complete his combos fairly often, and that's not too bad
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
As for second lineups, Guy has War Neji and War Guy, and Uchiha has Itachi with Amaterasu as the jutsu, and PTS Sasuke. Remember what I was saying earlier
So-
about a nice defensive support for PTS Sasuke? Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
Amaterasu
the
would be
best you
perfect
can
for
do.
Yeah, dude, oh my god, that's gonna be amazing because that has insane tracking
Yeah. And it stays
and
out
it
for
goes
like
on forever.
yeah.
'Cause that's like what
God.
Taka Sasuke's awakening Amaterasu, right? The way that
Yeah.
tracks. Okay. That's
yeah, but
that.
it stays out even longer than that. Like
Yeah,
Is that the one where like it hovers and they're in the air? The one that hovered and like it was below them and then it
yeah.
it was just waiting for them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh god.
So, I mean, that's a very good defensive jutsu for sure.
I like that he's in a 2-man team too. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say. I think Uchiha generally, if they are at home, I don't know if it's the best idea for them to do an awakening while they're at home. Just because stage size.
Well, but with who they chose,
It's
you
true.
you have either Itachi with his Susanoo, which is going to take up most of that.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's going to be able to connect the entire time, or PTS Sasuke, who is a small awakening but is real fast.
Yeah. I might actually go Uchiha on this one. Like, I think the things that Guy is doing is very interesting, but I think it's on the more experimental side of things. Whereas I think Uchiha is going more for just like, let's see how well we can do with what we have right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to say Uchiha on this one.
I think I might have to too. I like the builds that Guy is using. Interesting lineups as well, and since I mean it's a small map and Guy is a very strong melee team, so that will definitely help them a lot. But from what I see from Uchiha, looks like I think that might be able just to secure them that first win of the preseason.
Yeah, I want Uchiha to win specifically so that they have a win.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because no team should have no wins.
Yeah. Alright, so our next one is gonna be Mist at Taka.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, guys?
Let me outline what I went for. See, the thing is, remember how we were talking about, oh hey, you're not analyzing your opponent and whatnot. I haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
I've just been focusing on test builds and trying to see if X works with Y and whatnot.
Yeah, granted, and I just want to say before you continue, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just there's less emphasis on going for a win and more on just like, hey, let's get data,
Yeah.
And preseason,
usually
which is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I just like to know where I'm going to be at a lot of times, and
Right.
that will kind of determine what I'm doing. At that point, then I'm like, all right, well, let's just build now.
Yeah. So first off, we wanted to try a double lineup because in testing, the double lineups have been really solid, but the triple lineups have been really untested.
Mm-hmm.
That's why for the past few weeks, each time we've done a triple lineup.
Right.
Which for the most part has been really good, especially against Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the rare case where we had practically everything under the sun in our
Yeah.
favor. And Madara wasn't really doing anything other than giving a fireball, so he might as well not have been in the lineup.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have Karin Suigetsu, which last week was, or not last week, but last season was an extremely solid lineup.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, those two love working well together.
Which is funny.
Then we have Edo Madara and EMS Sasuke. EMS Sasuke is back on default AI, hopefully to sling out more ultimates, and Edo Madara has his Singing Flames Jutsu, which is the charged version of a fireball, the 3 dragon heads.
Yeah.
Think of it kind of like a shotgun of fire that doesn't proc strike back and just goes through people.
Seems like it might be an effective support.
Yeah, especially for EMS Sasuke. And Madara's back on Sasuke AI.
You see. Because he just never
Yeah.
is out on default.
Yeah, on default, he might as well just be a scroll.
Yeah.
Or a support-only character, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. Which, I mean, could have its own merits. I mean, if he's just there slinging fireballs, he's still effective.
True.
But, I mean, Sasuke AI against Kakashi, he was actually showing a bit of promise, except for the final lineup.
Yeah.
But that a lot of that was also due to the fact that Suigetsu still had his grab.
Yes.
I'm never letting that go.
I mean, if you want to bitch at somebody, bitch at Jay.
I know.
Damn.
And he knows that he fucked up. That's why I'm bringing it up every single
Damn
week.
it.
That was revenge for us destroying
damn.
them the previous week.
As Jay gets to talk his
Anyways.
test, and just kind of passes it over. It just
Hey. Yeah, every time he does a test of yours, hey, can you check so he gets his grab for me? Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
That would be
But,
such a dick
yeah,
move.
I wanted to try and specifically see how Suigetsu and Madara did with Swift Release. Now, Swift Release is that new scroll that just came out. that gives you double the forward movement of your first hit than Body Flicker, but also gives the movement speed of Body Flicker.
Yeah.
So that specifically for both Suigetsu and Madara, where Madara has a little shoulder tackle that doesn't go very far, and Suigetsu has a little kick that doesn't go very far, that should hopefully help them be aggressive and continue their combos, because that's the biggest hurdle with these characters that I've found.
Yeah.
Is continuing the damn combos.
Yeah.
For the rest of the team, like, I just want to see EMS Sasuke back on default. Hopefully he throws out some ultimates. I want to see Karin use those tilt scrolls, specifically Halo Dance and Ultimate Tilt.
Yeah.
With her drop kicks. Those should be crazy. And I want to see her ultimate, because week 1, she didn't even come out. Week 2, she wasn't even in the lineup. Week 3, she got stomped by the asshole and the greatest person in the entire series.
Yeah.
I don't know
she was
why
following
that combo.
She was following canon.
Yeah, I guess so.
At least.
I guess. Jesus. But yeah, I just want to see Madara do things, because at this point, I don't know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
Also don't know how I feel about Suigetsu. I just don't know. And I want to see Karin do stuff, because she hasn't been able to do stuff yet.
And I'll say, which is odd, because again, she's always been like the highlight in a lot of tests I've seen with her, even against in our matches. She's always seems to be like, all right, who's in the next lineup? Karin again. God.
Yeah.
So, that's how I feel when I see her, because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And
yeah, in tests she's been crazy, but in actual matches with builds, no. It's weird. Oh, I also gave up the Awakening build for Madara, because it just wasn't working out. And I have a feeling that having the Awakening build on him might have made either him or who he was with start derping.
Yeah. That is a definite possibility. As for Hit and Miss,
Haku and Kasame are the benches.
No Haku again, huh?
Yeah, no Haku, but they have Yager and Utakata, both of them with released power.
Yay!
And Utakata being in both lineups, so there's going to be potential of awakenings in both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the first one's going to be real nasty if that's a team awakening. My God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Utakata, I'm not liking Utakata in specifically because he's one of the only ranged characters that I can see having a lot of melee utility, specifically with that acid ball. So I think he's going to be able to just cut down our aggression fairly easily. And the second lineup, him being with Zabuza and Hanzo, ugh.
Yeah.
I do not have faith.
That could be rough.
Is there any jutsu assigned to Utakata's costumes at all? Like, was there any specified from Zao?
Don't think so.
So it's just his default, just water bubble jutsu.
Yeah.
The water bubble, probably. Yeah.
Which honestly, that's can be a melee's worst nightmare, just because it just floats around and they can sub and then behind you hits them.
Yeah.
It's like a mine, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their first lineup too is defense.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, since you're going on more of the testing side of things here, Burn, I think while a lot of the ideas that you're trying are solid, I think Mist is definitely going for the, like I was talking about with Uchiha. Yeah. So I think I would probably just give my vote of, like, confidence to Mist here.
Yeah.
What about you,
That's
Como?
cool.
Well, I know I kind of talked to Bern a little bit about the builds and stuff like that and some of the ideas he had. Even seeing what Mist is doing, I have faith in what I've seen from Taka, at least in this, and the stuff that I'm seeing the builds work around. So, and especially with some of the new stuff that Bern's trying out too. Specifically, really with Modric, I'm curious to see if the jutsu change as well. Back to this AI might make him just be out more, even on a 2-man lineup. So, yeah. So I'm gonna say Taka.
Wow, make me look like an asshole. Okay, so match 8. Well, see, I have faith in Taka, so yes, Sage at Sound.
You have faith in Taka that they will lose. Yay!
God.
You fucking prick.
It's alright, Orange. Remember, Burn said he said no, we're gonna get destroyed by Kakashi. So
Yeah, that's true. Hidden Sound has Jirobo, Snake Cape Kabuto, and Edo Kimimaro on their first lineup. And Sage is finally using Mitsuki again. And Sage Hashirama for their first lineup. Second lineup for Sound is Tuyuya and Kabuto. Second lineup for Sage is Madara and Kabuto. Sage Kabuto.
Interesting.
Yeah, so for builds, Sound's got Ultimate +1, Ultimate Chakra Saver, NCST, and Quick Recovery for Kabuto.
Yes,
Yeah. Tuyuya.
it's just there for Tuyuya.
Yeah. I mean, technically for everyone if she happens, Team Awakening. Tuyuya, Defense +2, Release Power, Regenerator, Lightweight, NCST. And Kimimaro, Attack +1, Essence of Finishing, Black Jacket, Sluggish Palm, Super Dash. Jirobo.
Well,
What's up?
I just want to say the reason why I mentioned that was because he's in both lineups, but Tuyuya's
Yeah.
only in the last lineup. And
That's
she's the only
true.
one that can actually initiate.
That's a good
So
point.
it's just for her.
Yeah. And Jirobo, Attack +2, Halo Dance, interesting. Essence of Striking, and Crippling Pursuit.
I haven't really been paying too much attention to Jirobo because Jirobo.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched him very much?
He tilts a lot.
He been working very well. He tilts a lot.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, does he do anything?
I mean, I think he does fairly well. He's pretty
He doesn't
melee
feel like a
aggressive.
hindrance per se, but nothing that stands out to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's decent. I don't think he's close to their best, but I think he's not a bad
I think
addition.
I've noticed that when he's in a lineup, usually he isn't always out a lot. Like, he'll be out for a bit, and then he'll be tagged out, to someone else, and then they'll kind of take the lead. He might come in for chaining, but for the most part, that's kind of what I have noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for Sage, Mitsuki has Attack +1, Chakra Saver, Unstoppable, Super Dash.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no Ultimate Chakra Saver on him, because his ult's pretty good.
Yeah. Hashirama, they're doing
It's
another.
hilarious to watch.
Yeah. Hashirama, they're doing another melee build for Attack +2, Lightweight, Air Palm, Ultimate Grab.
I don't know. It kind of bothers me when people just use Air Palm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm fairly sure they're not using Air Palm to try and counter a body flick or anything, which is what its entire intent was.
True. I mean, but at the same time, its effect on its own isn't terrible.
It's not the worst, but it's not the best. You get way more out of body flicker.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And then Ultimate Grab, and then Sage Kabuto, Defense +1, Essence of Striking, Air Step, Lightweight, and Sleep Palm. And then Sage Madara has Defense +2, Air Palm, Essence of Striking, 5 Element Seal, and Released Power.
5 Element Seal, I mean, not a bad idea considering his ult's kinda eh.
Yeah, and for benches, Sound has Sasuke and Orochimaru, and Sage has Jiraiya and Danzo benched.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are we gonna
I'm
commentate the match
surprised.
without Donzo in there? I don't understand.
No, I mean, I'm actually surprised because that could have been a fluke last week,
It could have been, and
they're not testing it more.
they might be assuming that it was, which, I mean, I would say is probably a safe assumption, but that's just me. I do think it could have at least used some testing to see if he would do something. But
Yeah.
then again, I'm sure they've tested him plenty in their own spare time. And
That's true.
but yeah, this is at Sound. So Sound will be at
I'm gonna come out right and say it. I'm gonna say Sound wins.
Okay.
Because I want them to. But also
You want them to go undefeated? Because, well, you want them to
I
beat
want to see
Sage.
them undefeated. I want to see them undefeated. I want to see them beat Sage because Sound has always been kind of a threat, but they always end up just shitting the bed sometime during the season.
Yeah. It'd
You
be
know what I
nice
mean?
to see them not do that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see like a good, solid showing for the preseason.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think overall...
But also,
Oh, yeah. 'Cause
Screw
also,
Sage.
yeah. Overall, I think that Sound is the stronger team here. And the fact that Tuyuya is in... seems like it could be a potential issue for Sage. So that's... I mean... And Kabuto... Snakecape Kabuto and Kimimaro haven't been bad either. I don't have too many thoughts on Jirobo, but those other two are pretty good, and Kabuto and Tuyuya both like to throw out ults, so they will be on the same team, and that could be a huge thing. For Sage, Mitsuki making the first appearance in a while.
And starting, I
Yeah.
got surprised just starting. I would think maybe have him in a couple lineups, like maybe like have him as a secondary and then have him start in the second, just so you get a little more data on him. But
Yeah,
I feel like there's lots of lack of data on him overall.
yeah, I'm not. I think Sound has a better chance of winning here. I would like to see some of the things that Sage is trying work, but I think Sound has a better chance, just because they've been on a huge roll this preseason.
yeah.
Gomel, did you go for Sound too?
I'm gonna go for Sound. It's hard to argue against their power, and
Yeah.
fluke or not, Dry and Donzo, since they're not in, that kind of brings me into
True.
question the rest of the consistency of the lineup, because the rest of the team hasn't really impressed me that much. I mean, Sage Kabuto's had some good performances as well as Hashirama, but again, that was probably last week. Again, probably the strongest I've seen Sage in a lineup for probably a while.
Yeah.
So with them benched against a undefeated Sound, with what I see, definitely Sound.
Well, I also don't have, like, I think that there's potential there for Hashirama
Of course.
to run
Yeah.
a melee offensive build, but I don't think, based on what we saw from him last season, I don't think it's the most optimal way to build him.
I remember that lineup specifically because it was in a contention match initially for the start of the last season, and probably is one of the reasons why they ended up losing to us, because he was always out and he had the defense negative,
Yeah,
which hurt him a lot, and because he was like in every lineup and he was always out taking damage.
that's true.
So that stands out to me a lot. Whenever I see him on it, it could work, but I just remember those moments and I'm like, I don't know. It
Yeah,
can work, but it's also a gamble.
he doesn't have a flak jacket to supplement it. So.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is with Mitsuki, who has a child negative,
That's true.
and
too.
also
That is
doesn't
true.
have a flak jacket. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go for Sound. So, okay, we are all decided then. All right. So that is gonna be it, guys. This is a shorter one than our other ones, thankfully. I've actually.
Oh, was it shorter? Oh, good.
Yeah, we're almost at a minute 50, or an hour and 50 minutes. So
That's true. I think last week was an hour or 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think.
yeah,
almost.
something crazy long like that. Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I'm looking forward to next week for sure, and I hope you all enjoyed the endcast. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you to Burn and Gomel for joining me as always.
Wow.
And
Great to be here.
we'll see you around, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.